Hello and welcome to Arco Iris Ranch. My name is Bree. If you're new here, we are gardening in Texas and it is now time for our November garden tour. We have not had a frost yet. Our average first frost day isn't until the end of November, so we still have a little bit of time and a little bit of color to enjoy before the frost takes it all. Let's go see how everything's looking. The thing I'm most excited to be seeing right now in my garden in November are all those zinnias over there. We're going to take a closer look here in just a little bit. I'll give you an overview of all the beds real quick. So we have 6 4-foot by 4-foot raised beds in our garden, and they are about a foot tall. Let's see that. So let's go ahead. Oh, I have Megatron with me here. So let's go ahead and look at the pansies right here. So they have started to fill in a bit and put on some size, and pushing out some really beautiful blooms. Look at all the different varieties that we have here. This one's really pretty. Oh, look at that one. Really beautiful. So they haven't filled in a whole bunch, but at least they are growing up a little bit. And then all the snapdragons around the edges, some are doing better than others. Like you can see this one right here doesn't look too good, but the ones next to it are doing really good. And then, oh, I almost forgot. One exciting thing that is blooming also is the alyssum that we started from seed. And look how pretty that looks with the black pansy. And this one over here on this side is blooming as well. Yeah, the snapdragons are growing and they are doing okay. We also have the alyssum blooming in this bed, but this bed you can see these plants are doing. This cat just jumped off the top and scared me. Lordy, she was apparently up there. Now she's gonna jump over the garden bed right there. Okay, back to the tour. So this bed right here, you can see these brassicas are doing so good. Now in the front here, the cabbage on this side, this is our red acre cabbage. That's really the only one that's doing anything. I mean, you can see that one is still alive. These ones that got eaten are just nothing, and this one over here is trying, but you can see that one is the best. Oh, now I have all the kitties. There's soap. So you can see right here in the front we have the 3 alyssums blooming, and then we have a mixture of kale and broccoli. I think it's early green broccoli, and I can't remember the name of the kale. But then we also have some pink Swiss chards down the side. You can see these ones a little bit better. Real quick, that zinnia did bloom and is actually also pushing out buds on the side shoots as well. Yes, hello soap. But you can see this pink Swiss chard over here is doing really good. And then yeah, this kale or broccoli, I think this is the kale. It's doing really good. Yeah, you want to show them all that? Does that look good? The cats are doing good and not ruining the garden, so that's good. So now in this bed, we have snapdragons, chamomile, cilantro, and alyssum. We have the snapdragons all around the perimeter. And then you can see the cilantro has put on a good amount of size here. And then our chamomiles have grown a little bit. There's chamomile all down on each corner of this trellis. And the cilantro is right there and over there. And then you can see the alyssum is blooming on this side and also on this side right here. That's a self-seeded zinnia. I don't know if that's going to have time to put on a bud before the frost. I still don't have anything in this bed at all. Going to do that later on. I do have something growing right there. I can't decide what that is. I'm not sure, but something is growing. These might be from when I had my son just dump out the rest of the little seed pods. Oh yeah, look, that must be something that I started from seed, but not sure what. And now let's look at this. Is this not absolutely amazing to have in November? Oh my goodness. And the best part is I didn't actually even sow any of these seeds. In the spring, I had planted all of the zinnias here. Look at this one. That is absolute perfection right there. Got kitties trying to bite my toes. Yeah, all of these, I planted the zinnias early on in the spring, and then they all just self-seeded, and every single one of these are just grown from the seeds that fell from the spring flowers. So it's really awesome. Got all kinds of activity over here. All 3 kitties with me. Look at that. Moving over to this bed, I still have not moved any of these plants. This one right here, this leaf is bee balm. Still has not bloomed at all whatsoever, but there's like a big patch of it right here. And then this whole corner, the leaves that look like this is oregano, and it has taken over like the whole corner of the bed. We do have one little random marigold down here that survived the summer. And then our Colorado mix yarrow is still doing okay. It is kind of getting choked out by the bee balm and the oregano, as you can see right there. But I do still plan on moving all of these plants over to the herb bed. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. And the only other thing inside the garden fence, these are the blueberries. And they did drop all the leaves that were there, but they are still alive. So fingers crossed they all survive. I still haven't picked up the other 2 from my sister yet, but that is on the list. So we have a Vernon blueberry, a Tift blue, and an Aquilan blueberry. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Crazy girls. The beds along the outside of the garden fence are not looking too exciting, but I still want to go ahead and show you those. I will be doing some cutback here, well, maybe in a month or so. We'll see, something around there. We'll just see when the frost comes. And so yeah, some of the stuff will be getting cut back, but let's go ahead and take a look at what it looks like right now. So we're going to start with the left side of the fence. We still have the iris in the back left corner there that will be moved, and then the salvia that's all left over right now. This is my hardy hibiscus, and so you can see all of these up here are all the seed pods. All the seeds have fallen out of that one, but let's see, there's a couple seeds down in that one. So this whole thing is covered in seed pods, and then the branches are starting to die, and then you can see as the branch goes down, it's still alive down there on the bottom. So I will be cutting those back soon. If you look down in there, you can see all those dead branches. Those are from last year when I cut it back. So it is going to be time to cut this back very, very soon. Next to that, we do have all those like grassy texture plants. Those are some kind of alliums down there. And then we do still have our salvia right there. This is the first flush from the plant, so I should have cut that off, but that's the new fresh growth that's been coming in, and it looks really, really nice. And then the rock rose, the Pavonia rock rose, is looking a little wild, but you can actually see some color on it. And so that's pretty exciting. I love that color. And then we do have the Climbing America rose that still only has a few leaves over there on the side. Looks like the grasshoppers have eaten every other leaf off except for just that right there. And then this is the other rose. I did try to wrap that through the trellis. I did snap it, and I'm hoping it doesn't die. You can actually see the snap right there, but it still looks green, so I'm hoping it heals itself. But we have that rose going down, and then you can see the Pavonia rock rose, like it sticks out all the way over there, and it just kind of spreads out everywhere. But I absolutely love this plant, and if you're a Texas gardener, this does really, really good for us. We have more salvia next to that. Down here we have a Dusty Miller. That is a ornamental onion. This is a yarrow. And then here we have a head over heels hibiscus that is doing the same thing. So it has more leaves on it than the other one, but it has all the seed pods on it, and then the branches are going to slowly start dying, and then I will cut that back later on. Yeah, I don't like seeing the yellowed leaves on it, but I know that is some fall color. So the yarrow, I just noticed, is looking a little rough. I wonder if the temperatures have gotten a little bit too cold for that. I don't know. We haven't had a frost, but it doesn't look very good. Or maybe a kitty cat's been sitting on there. Maybe that's why it's smushed. That would make sense. And so that's it on the 2 garden beds that are on the front side of the garden fence. I have decided on the side where the irises are to extend it and actually make a walkway just with mulch right here. So you can see I moved the bricks, and the weird bricks that are just sideways are just holding the tarp down. But this is the old tarp from the old in-ground garden. Some of it was not salvageable, so we just decided to fold it and use it as underneath the walkway right here. But we have our lemongrass, and then, oh, I did forget. Okay, so we have all of our irises, you can see. But we do have lemon coral sedum that is still doing good. I am sad to report the echinacea is completely dead. We'll see if that one comes back or not. But all of the lemon coral sedum looks excellent. You can see that echinacea has some life on it still. The salvia, the white salvia, is just absolutely beautiful. I love salvia, and the fact that I have a white one is really, really cool. And let's see, that echinacea is completely dead, but that lemon coral sedum looks really, really good. And of course, all the irises look really, really good. And then my favorite plant, the lemongrass. And I love this view right here, especially when there's more color on it. But you can see we have the bricks all the way down, and then it's been really windy, so it's moved all my tarp. But we created this little area right here with these bricks. We moved the bricks, and I've actually decided to leave that open because plans have changed. So we just decided to do the bricks all around this, and then this is all going to be mulch underneath here. And let me step back real quick. So we did a heavy prune on the peach tree, as you can see, but my long-term vision is this kind of being like a tunnel right here. You see the rose going over on the left side, and then the peach tree going over on the right side and forming like a tunnel. I think that'll look really, really cool. The peach tree normally has way more leaves on it, but obviously that's that time of the year, so the leaves are falling. But if we get closer, we cut all the branches that are sticking out this way, all of them off, and a bunch that were over here. Here's a main branch that we cut that was sticking out, and here's a couple more right here. But yeah, so now let me spin around. My husband can get the mower through here, no issues at all whatsoever. And then we won't have to worry about mowing over here, and we'll be able to walk over here without getting hit by the tree. You can see some pretty big cuts that were made right here, and right here. And some more up there as well. But we're gonna have maybe a little bench right here, some chairs, and then that way we'll be like sitting, this will be my like point of view, we'll be sitting underneath the peach tree looking out at the garden like this. So just pretend all of this is going to be mulch, and you won't see any of the tarp, of course. But we have our Beverly Rose here. No blooms on it right now, so I can't show you that. But I always cut this thing back really, really short, and it always grows really, really tall. Don't want to get too close because we do have another garden spider right there. But we have all of our lemon balm right here. Last year the lemon balm didn't get really big, and I'm actually loving how wild it went this year. And I did have to pull my little sculpture out because it was getting swallowed up back there. But we still have some salvia. You can see some little tiny zinnias left over back there. And then, of course, all the wild salvia right here. Now the pincushion flowers, there are still some blooms on them. These will probably flush out here again soon, but I mean, I still think these little things look really, really cool. So I don't mind those. There are some grass weeds in there too. Now this big section right here are the 2 wild roses that we have that never bloomed. And then there's a bunch of salvia mixed in there as well. And there's Ghost. And then down here at the end, we have the beautyberry. And the berries aren't looking very beautiful right now. They've been getting eaten and most of them are gone, but there are still some. But I'm just letting the wildlife enjoy all the berries, and then maybe one year we'll be able to make jelly out of it, but not this year. The original plan was to have the row garden moved all in between the garden and the chicken coop over here. And then we were gonna have, just rows of zinnias, rows of sunflowers. We were gonna have a bunch of mulch. We were gonna have a row of hibiscus over there up against the fence. That may or may not still happen, but plans changed and we didn't want to spend any money, so we just had to use materials we already had. So we only had enough leftover tarp to go from here all the way over to where the chicken coop yard is. So eventually I will have a mulch pathway, so I won't have to worry about chiggers in the summer, but right now I don't have to worry about chiggers. But we will have this right here. I do plan on doing like a little, not a pallet, but like a wood cover, like a platform right there to maybe have a little seating area and to hide the septic tank covers, but still be able to have easy access to them. And then I do plan on doing mulch all the way over to where the hose is over there on the left, just so we don't have to worry about grass or weeds or anything like that over here. But we eventually will continue the walkway all the way over here. But for now, that's all we had. So now we're over here where the 3 herb beds are. And remember, the outer 2 still have watermelons in them. And look how exciting this is. I apologize, my guinea must think that it's in danger. So over here, I know that it's not going to be done before the frost, but look, we have a watermelon. So that's why I have not pulled it out, because I mean, I can't pull it out when I'm seeing that grow. So I'm just gonna leave that there. But right now it still just has the watermelon in it, and it will have herbs in it. Possibly the yarrow and the oregano and the bee balm that I showed you earlier. So in the middle bed, we recently planted all this stuff right here. So it's all looking pretty good. So this one right here on the end is barbecue rosemary. We have Ghost over here with us still. This is creeping thyme. This echinacea isn't looking too terrible. Oh, careful, Ghost. This echinacea is still alive, so it's doing better than the other ones. This one right here is rue. This one is garlic chives. This one is a sweet lavender. And then the catnip's not looking very good back there either. And then lastly in this bed is the gold flame honeysuckle that we moved. I still haven't trellised it yet, but I plan on making a trellis system on this wall right here so that I'll have somewhere to grow. And then the last bed over here just has a watermelon vine growing, and I don't think, besides flowers, whoa, gracious, you garden kitties are making this hard. I don't think there's any actual watermelons growing in there. So this bed will go as soon as the frost takes it, then we'll pull everything out. And then the only other thing over here, we have our vitex tree and the gladiolus bulbs that are reblooming. They were supposed to be pastel pink and lavender, and I got them and I put them in the spring. They popped up red, and then I pulled them out when they dried, just pulled the tops off and let the bulbs in, and they have started to regrow. So those will probably be taken by the frost, but I'm just excited to see that they're still alive at least, or at least a few of them are. This happens every so often. My guinea decides it wants to clear the 6-foot fence, and fly out. So I'm hoping my cat doesn't get it. I gotta see if I can get her back in, or him. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but don't fly, it's okay. I'm just gonna open the gate and you can come back in. Come here. Come here. Come on. Thank you. Now, can you go in the coop, please? Go in. Here, chicken, watch out. I'm gonna go ahead and close them in. I'm not gonna go all the way up on the patio during this tour, but these are the hibiscus seeds that I started, and I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with them just yet. Like I said, plans did change, so we'll see on that. And then real quick, here are those 2 geraniums, looking beautiful. And I did stick some random pieces of the lemon coral sedum in here that broke off, and they're growing really, really nicely. At the bottom of the stairs, we have a pot with lemongrass, and then we also have one on the other side. And then we also have the Sexy Rexy rose, but there's not any really pretty blooms on it right now, but I can show you a little bit of color. Over here on the side of the house, it starts off with our paradise rose, which is probably one of my favorite roses. I absolutely love it. And then we do have our Russian sage that has some color on it. Our crepe myrtles are taking their sweet time to actually show their color, and I'm hoping they show it before the frost takes them, but it's filled with buds all over it. Hopefully the crepe myrtles will show color, and we'll see those looking really pretty and pink very, very soon. The Rose of Sharon seems to be handling the transplant really good. It didn't lose any of its leaves, and I don't know, it looks really, really good. So I'm hoping that does okay. I do still plan on trimming all of this bottom stuff off of the fig tree. We got some yucky leaves on it, but no figs on this one this year at all for some odd reason. We have our Zephyrin Druin climbing rose right here that I plan on doing something really fun with that soon. So hopefully that goes as planned. I won't have to buy anything for it, so hopefully y'all will see that soon. And then still haven't cut this off yet, but we still have our Texas sage right there. We still have our little garden spider right there. And then this is the butterfly bush. I forgot the name of it. I'll see if I can find it and put it on the screen, but it's like a really pretty, like a magenta color. Really, really nice. And then we follow it with a really, really pretty lemongrass. Well, you guys, that's it. I am almost completely out of daylight. Thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe so you can watch our future garden tours. We'll see you in the next video.